The goal challenge. She has expertise and insight. She will be completing project number 10 from the Competent Communication Manual. She's not yet qualified with the CC Award, but she's getting there. She's very close. Help me welcome our first speaker today, Sam Sykes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Last year, Jerry Seinfeld earned $85 million without lifting a finger. He didn't work for it. Where would you be if you didn't work last year? I know for me, I wouldn't be 85 million richer. Tell me, who has done their goals for 2015? Anybody made resolutions? Goals. How about a quest? Today's a perfect timing for me to challenge our goals. You might say I'm going to be the devil's advocate. Now, I don't want my intention is not to make you uncomfortable with my questions, but maybe to open your mind to some other possibilities or even create some curiosity. I know we're not in league with Jerry Seinfeld and his comedic genius, although Jay Leno and Jimmy Fallon are, and I don't see them creating an income that will serve them 20 years later. How about Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley still earning money way after they're gone? Then there's the Cox family. James Cox started the business around the turn of the 20th century. His daughter is now worth $32 billion. And we still pay every month, internet and TV. How about authors? In 2013, E.L. James earned $95 million for her sales of 50 Shades of Grey, top seller of the year. And then there's Joanne Rowling. Joanne Rowling, she started the series, a Harry Potter series, and she was once a desperate single mom who couldn't find a job. To fill in her time, she started reading or writing children's books, and the rest is history. Being an author is an awesome way to earn a living if you can make the top sellers list. I say it's an accomplishment just to get a book published. And then you got to recoup all your expenses. And maybe if you're lucky enough, you'll earn an income from it. My husband's favorite story is the one about Alec Guinness. He played Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. He knew it was going to be a box office success. So he went to George Lucas and negotiated. George Lucas was getting 20% of the sales. He negotiated for 2% of that. And today he's a very rich man because of that. Then there's real estate. A lot of people have made a lot of money on real estate. But I heard a sobering statistic lately that only 5% of the agents make 90% of the earnings. That doesn't mean that some of them still don't make a fairly good living. However, I might suggest that when they have a good year, they go see someone like Aaron, financial planner, so their money creates money to help them through the lean years. One of the things we learn when you're starting your own business, follow your passion and the money will follow you. I remember when I was an artist or painting a lot, I loved to paint. I had a friend who was a batik artist. she found a way to create her designs. That's when you take and you kind of tie-dye a piece of fabric and you make a wall hanging out of it. And she had come up with this design about Indian women, Native American women, and it was very successful. Her husband told her that if she wanted to keep that success going, she must keep doing the same type of work. Doesn't that kind of become production? Where's the passion? I have to say, I went after my passion. I wanted to make websites 20 years ago, and I did. I made 500 or 600. I make a website, get paid, make a website, get paid. If I didn't make a website, I didn't get paid, but the money followed me. At the same time I was networking my business, there was a man out there named Bob Parsons who saw the power of the internet like I did. He was out there networking. He wasn't sure what he was going to do. But he was going right for the money. Forget the passion to make money, but he went right for the money. He also said that it was better to make a little money on a lot of people rather than a lot of money on a few people. So what did he do? He took domain name registration. At that time, it cost about average $25 to register a domain name for a year. And it was not easy. He simplified the process and charged $8 a domain name. Everybody was delighted. People were getting 10, 20 domain names because it only cost them $8. Then in 2011, Bob Parsons sold most of his shares of GoDaddy for $100 million. Do you think he's financially free? I'd say he is. I say that should be our goal. Go right for the money. Go for being financially free. Why not? He now has a foundation. He's able to give back. He's able to give money to whoever he wants. He can live wherever he wants, drive whatever he wants, go wherever he wants. I say let's re-look at our goals and see if we're setting ourselves up to be financially free. Maybe it takes a plan B. Another thing that we're often told is that the more you risk, the more success you will have. Well, I know Bob Parsons talks about this as well, because he happened to be he started out as he was poorer than a church mouse, is what he says. And then when he was in the service, he was in the Marines in Vietnam. He said that changed his whole outlook. He wasn't afraid to take a risk. Now, I'm not sure how he took a risk. I do know that when he was about to start GoDaddy, that he had made like $60 million on some software. He had came out of the war, the Vietnam War, and he became an accountant. And with that, he developed some software, and he was actually able to sell it for $60 million. Somewhere in there, he must have taken risks. But I tell you, as me, I'm not so sure it's a good idea to take those kind of risks. Living on the edge, if you don't make it, you're going to be homeless type thing. To me, that puts too much stress on you. Now, there may be personalities that can do that. I don't think I could. I say you're better off having an income and then going on another venture. But this might require a plan B. I'm going to ask a favor. I'm going to ask you all to take out your cell phones. I want you to text this number. I want you to text me your name and the answer to this question, yes, no, or maybe. Do you want to know more about Plan B? And I'm going to end with a quote from the internet. Dear past, thank you for all my lessons. Dear future, I'm ready. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, let's take this opportunity in silence to give